So welcome to today's how-to with Panopto. For those of you who may not be familiar with what Panopto is, it's a video content management system accessible via Canvas to any teaching team within a Canvas course that has a Canvas course shell. So if you're with the GSB, please contact your academic tech team to learn more about your video content management options as they currently do not use Panopto. So I am Lina, as you know, I'm Lina Piezas, and I'm joined by Jeff Wang, and we are your Stanford Panopto ad leads. We are, as Mike mentioned, we are with the Center for Global and Online Education within the School of Engineering, formerly SCPD. Um, let's see. I see a few recognizable names and faces here, and I know most of you have already used Panopto. I was going to take a poll on how many people haven't used Panopto, but I'm just going to go through the slides um, here. So today I'll do a dive into what Panopto can do for those of you who are not as familiar. Jeff will be live demoing various ways to share content with students. So we'll be demoing two of the most common tickets that we get, which are utilizing deep embedding for video management and sharing lectures with a subset of students. And at the end, I'll provide you with a few links should you want to learn more about Panopto. Throughout this demo, feel free to unmute yourselves anytime, interrupt, ask questions, drop your questions in the chat. Jeff, while I'm presenting, Jeff will primarily be responding to these. I'm terrible at responding to the chat while I'm presenting. However, and then when Jeff is presenting, I'll be responding to the chat. But if you wish to connect with us to go over a specific use case because you're really trying to accomplish something, please feel free to contact us directly for a one-on-one at panoptohelp@stanford.edu. Right. So let's dive right in. What's Panopto? As mentioned, it's our video content management software available to all teaching teams within the Canvas learning management system. It's a Canvas navigational default. As you see here, it's titled Panopto Course of Videos. It's the technology that's available inside of some SEGO or across SEGO capture capable classrooms, mainly residing in the SOE. You can host your video lectures as primary or secondary materials. Panopto has a native recorder, so you can record directly into your course folders. You can upload existing content, and Panopto also has a native editor, so you can edit your content before making it available to students. You can also set your lecture availability on a publishing schedule. And something sort of new to Panopto is Panopto's AI summary, which is enabled to be toggled on by teaching teams. And we may demo this at the end if we have time. But note that the feature is off by default. And so it just has to be enabled at the folder level by teaching teams. So you don't have to worry about it auto AI, the AI auto summarizing your content. It's just available as an option. Okay, so most of you already know this. We have a Panopto Zoom integration in Canvas, so all of your Zoom LTI sessions that are recorded to the cloud will be imported to Panopto by default. This does not apply to sessions outside of the Canvas Zoom tool. So you don't have to worry about your personal sessions ending up in any sort of Panopto folder. Okay, so here I just want to go over some Panopto's site-wide defaults and things that are good to know about the tool. Again, it's only available through Canvas. By default, uh, all of your content that you put into your course folders are made available immediately, meaning any video that you upload to that course folder, students will be able to watch right away. Downloads are disabled by default, so they're not available to students. And as mentioned, the Zoom integration is on by default as well. There are so there's no additional work needed on anyone's end in order to enable this feature. Um, but really important to note is that you can change most of the Panopto folder defaults can be changed and managed on the folder level by teaching teams. So meaning you can restrict automatic availability so that any video that you upload to your course folder is only accessible on the date that you schedule it. You can enable downloads for your students if needed. And if you have an issue with your Zoom content auto importing into Panopto, please connect with us. I'd like to further understand what your goals are so we can make the proper recommendation on how to best move forward. Okay, so please note also that all students across campus lose access to the Panopto tool typically the Sunday after grades are due. This also aligns with the Zoom content. So both students will lose access to both of those tools. Any student that requires access beyond this date please review the Panopto course video extensions guideline to learn more about extensions beyond the term. Jeff, if you have that link handy, if you can just drop it in the chat. Videos in Panopto. This is sort of new as well. You might have not seen this before. Videos in the Panopto course videos tool that have not been viewed in the past 2 years will be relocated into a new tab into that corresponding source folder called Archive. And Archive, it just gets moved into a new folder. And creators, so teaching teams, have access to restore that content at any time. Students don't have access to it, but creators will be able to restore it at any time. We are not deleting content. We're simply just moving it into a cold storage bucket, essentially. And in general, reusing content in Panopto from one term to the next. Content must be free of all student personally identifiable information, PII. This includes student and TA faces, emails, and names. You'll want to ensure your guest speakers have signed an online speaker release. Um, and please note that there are additional restrictions that will apply to use of your recordings with audiences beyond Stanford. So feel free to connect with us if you do have any questions about that. And I believe the link that Jeff dropped in the chat has the same information and guidelines around content reuse. Okay. So very quickly, for those of you who are not as familiar with how Panopto permissions work, I'll go over this very quickly. They're based off of Canvas roles. So anyone in Canvas with the role of teacher, TA, CA, or designer, which I forgot to add here, will be seen as a creator in Panopto. All that means is that you have access to advanced controls such as deleting, editing, publishing, etc. Students and observers are seen as viewers in Panopto. They only get access to watch the content you allow them to see. All right, so we already reviewed some Panopto basics on how permissions work and some site-wide defaults. You'll want to consider how you're going to get content into your library, into that course folder, whether you're going to record with the Panopto recorder, upload content, or rely on the Panopto Zoom integration to get content to share with your students. And then you want to determine where it's displayed and when it's displayed, which plays nicely into our demo today. And that is kind of the most common tickets that we receive. The next slide, we'll start to dive into our live demo, and I'll kick it off to Jeff in just a little bit. But I want to stop here to see if anybody has any questions. I feel like I've said a whole lot. And I haven't checked any thing in the chat, but I'm assuming it's just Jeff. Um, and so congratulations. Thank you so much. Okay. And I think I see some of our friends in the from the continuing studies department here. And so some of these things don't apply to continuing studies, but we also support them. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves. I just know that this presentation isn't tailored for specifically for CSP. It's tailored for kind of main campus. All right. Let's see. So, um, two of the most common use cases that we see come through, the common tickets that we see come through are how do I properly share videos in Canvas tools? So this is sort of taking the content outside of the Panopto LTI, which I know Jeff will emphasize, do not ever share links outside of the Panopto LTI, direct links. Um, and how do I share my lectures with a subset of students? So if there's an exception or an accommodation because students are traveling for whatever reason, athletics, um, they're sick, um, some instructors choose to provide them access with lecture content and so we can, but they don't want the entire course to have access to it. They just want a subset of students to have access to it. So, Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you for the live demo.
Thank you, Lina. So let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen really quick. Yes, so hopefully you've seen my sandbox on the Canvas page. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna dive right in. So like Lina mentioned, two of the most common ways to share Panopto videos outside of the LTI are modules and pages. So we're operating under the assumption that you already have some videos uploaded to the Panopto course videos tool. And also the assumption that you're okay with students also accessing through the LTI and the Canvas tools. If we prefer them to be only accessing through the Canvas tool, we will come back to revisit the workflow in just a little bit. So right now let's go to modules, and then once you have a module, and just go ahead and click on the plus icon, and go ahead and we're going to click on the drop down, and we need to go to external tool, and now let's find Panopto course videos. So now you see we have the collection of video that we uploaded. So I'm going to choose this Stanford online video. And here you can also adjust the size and the various options available. And if everything looks good to you, go ahead and press insert. And now we go to add item. So here you see it hasn't been published yet. So the teaching team has the capability of deciding when to publish them. I'm just going to go ahead and publish it. And let's have a preview of what it looks like. So now we see the video is playing in this embedded page. And I also embedded a quiz in this particular video. So the the quiz will show up in both the LTI and the modules tool. Now let me skip forward to the quiz section. And let me retake the quiz. And then, yes, and so that's how one can embed and deep embed the videos in modules. I'm just gonna pause really quick to see if anybody has any questions or
While people think of their questions, I just want to emphasize that anytime you're looking to embed a Panopto video into a Canvas tool, such as modules, pages, assignments, you'll want to use this method of going to the external tool. It's very important that you do it that way. Otherwise, if you're copying the video links into the WYSIWYG tool, it'll actually cause access issues for your students. So we don't ever recommend you taking the direct video link and posting it anywhere, either outside of Canvas or even into your Canvas course page within a tool, it will likely cause access issues for your students. And especially if you are setting up modules because you want to take advantage of a course copy, because the videos will also copy over into the next term. It will it'll help the permissions from one term to the next. So there's no reconfiguring of the Panopto videos if you use the external tool method. If you copy and paste links, it may work for some students and not work for others. It's not a supported workflow in your current term, but it will likely start to break as you do the course copy from one term to the next. So I'm going to emphasize it because we get a lot of tickets on this. And so I want to make sure that people are aware that we highly recommend that you only use the external tool workflow.
Lena, I was just about to ask this because I think Jeff, you helped me, or both of you did, because I had done that for Hum Bio when we were trying to recover content. It might help very briefly because when you come back and you do this, you just think, I'm in Panopto. What do I do? Like it's intuitive to do it from within Panopto instead of Canvas. Can you just show us like what we're not supposed to do very briefly? Like in Panopto, there's a bunch of options that we're not supposed to use and just go, don't do this because it shows up in Panopto as an option.
So yes, so Nina, I'm gonna show Carlos really quick how to copy the links and paste somewhere in Canvas, which was definitely that's yeah. So in Panopto, you see it's very easy to go to the share icon, and here we can copy the individual link. So I think quite a few ticks that we saw is that they would paste that link either directly anywhere in Canvas. I'm just gonna
Yeah, this is what I did. Because you're
yeah.
in the videos and you think, oh, this is the one I want.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
problem is it will definitely not work if you do a course copy for the future quarters. While it might work for the current students if they have clicked on the LTI tool, but it will pose problem for students who never accessed Panopto in the given term before, or if they decide to switch to a computer or different browser, then if they don't go through this LTI handshake for authentication, then Panopto doesn't recognize them and they get this big access request and they won't be able to access the video. And often in time, they will click on access request. So it sends an email to whoever owns that video. So that's definitely a
Yeah, this
workflow
is
we
just a note for ATSs. We are often asked to find videos from the past. So it's a super common situation. The professor's like, I had all these videos in the class. Can I
yeah.
use them? And that's how it happens. You go try to find the videos in Panopto and you're like, here they are. And you start just making a Google Doc or something, and it just doesn't work that way. You have to start from Canvas.
Yes, and you can find videos from past quarters as well. So I'm just gonna go. Actually, I'm just dive right into pages. I hope that's okay. So we go
Yeah,
to
this is
come to.
really useful what you're teaching. It's a super common situation that you're being asked to find the videos.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm glad yeah, I'm glad the use case applies to what you're experiencing. So yes, so just I'm coming back to pages, and I created a new page, and like Carlos mentioned, a need for an archive or past video. So, so we go to this applications icon and click on Panopto, or we can come here, view all, and we go ahead and find the Panopto course videos. So by default, it takes you to the respective term that you open up in. And if you would like to find courses in other folder, so you can type in the name, or you can, so they say I create a hidden folder. So you have to, if either you remember the name of the, oops, I'm sorry. I realized I have some typo. So either you remember the name of the past folder, you can click on, you can search for it, I mean, you can type in a search, or you can click on the drop down. For the Canvas instance, you need to come to for Canvas users. And I'm sorry, this is a little tedious, but you keep on clicking the drop down and find that particular videos in the past, and it will show up for you to find it. Yeah. So I can definitely we'll send you the documentation on how to find it later because I know I'm going through it fairly quickly.
And
But this is
Jeff,
how
you're
you will
showing us
populate.
what we should do, right? This is a way
Yes,
to find them, but not within Panopto independently of Canvas.
right.
Okay, thank
If
you.
you need to incorporate them with the Canvas tool, you need to go to Canvas and go to the external tool and then de-embed them that way for it to sync properly. Yeah.
Super useful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just I'm just gonna embed a video real quick just to show you what it looks like. And the same thing here, you have some options here, the size. And this will actually come into play really quick. I will demonstrate. So in Pages, you display it's an actual video player. So a lot of times, if we have other content and the faculty or teaching team would like to adjust the size of the player, and what you do is, if you miss the earlier chance to adjust the size, you can always come to the HTML player, and here you can enter the exact size that you want for the video player. And then and I'm gonna just go to I'm just going to go ahead and save and publish.
Jeff, we have about 6 minutes, I think. I want to,
Okay.
we're on time. Do you want to share the sharing lectures with a subset of students workflow?
Yes, of course. Yes. So I think we go over the Canvas tool. So here I have preloaded my app. So yes, like Lina mentioned, so we can share own videos directly in the Panopto LTI within the Panopto tool. So the first thing we need to do is to create a hidden folder that only the teaching team has access to. And we can do that by go to add folder, typing a name, we enter, and then now we click into the subfolder. We go to the share icon. So this is what Lina mentioned, the teaching team and the students. We need to change the permissions, keep this check, stop inheriting, and we remove the viewer group. And now only the teaching team has access to this folder. And whenever you're ready to, we added the videos and you want particular students to come in and to navigate through the LTI and come in, we can go ahead and add them. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can add Lina to this folder.
One
So
thing to know about the permissions here, you want to, so you're going to search for the particular student based on SUNET ID. And really important is that this Canvas SOE-graduate is the correct identity provider. We see here that San has several users under different identity providers. The right one is the Canvas SOE graduate. Otherwise, it will cause access issues if you choose a different identity provider. Um, yeah.
yeah, so if when Song comes in and he go to Panopto, he will be able to find this folder and then navigate to the videos he needs that the teaching team yes. And I'm gonna go anything else as I think publishing availability or anything in the remaining
Lina, I
time
just
we
want to
have.
clarify that has nothing to do with whether they're graduate students or something. That's just the correct path.
Right, exactly. It's a legacy name that we should probably consider renaming. And that's when we had originally just Panopto was just available through the School of Engineering, and then when the pandemic hit, and we made it available across campus, these are just little things that we didn't end up updating. So that it's probably some, and now that it's available, kind of permanently, it's probably something that we want to consider updating. But as of right now, it is Canvas SOE graduate.
Yeah, so another way to control the publishing availability, it's for everybody. So you come to your main Panopto course folders, and you go to the three dots, and you go to settings, and you go to settings again. Like Lina mentioned, by default, it's available to everyone. If you wish to publish the videos individually, we recommend you choose never unless set on session. A lot of teaching teams use this workflow, but it actually give you a lot of spam. So we actually don't recommend this approved by a publisher because it will send an email to everybody every time you publish a video.
But if this is something you want to take advantage of, please connect with us, and we're happy to walk you through how to possibly only get one person to receive the email, as opposed to multiple people. So Jeff will be able to walk you through that.
So that right now, none of the videos you will see in the description really quick. This is not available to viewers, and that's students. And we can publishing the videos by either going to the three dots and publish. That will publish the video immediately, or we can come to settings and we scroll down again, and you can decide when it becomes available and how long it remains available for the video. And yes, I just want to pause and just make sure any questions or if Lina's anything you want to add or.
Let's pause here and take any questions. I think I have more time than I thought. So we
I
can.
ha I have a question. So you talk about the publishing. So my question is about creating content. Is there any, I mean, recommendation? Is there, for example, a cell phone or a laptop camera is enough, or you need extra equipment in terms of camera, sound recording, kind of these things?
It really depends on what you're trying to do. So if you can record on Zoom if you want to, if that's what you're comfortable with and familiar with, and you just want to use your computer camera, you can do that. And Jeff, can you go to the create button? And then you can upload. I was going to show the
Oh,
upload.
sorry, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Um, and then you can just upload that media to Panopto. You can also take advantage of Panopto's native recorder. So in this case, Jeff is on Windows, I'm on a Mac. It'll know which system that you're on. And then you can download the local recorder to your system. If you are in a capture capable classroom, I know LTS has some around campus. You can either use Zoom or Panopto, to either Panopto to record directly into your course folder, and then, or you can use Zoom to then later upload or take advantage of the Panopto Zoom integration to then have it just auto import into your Panopto course folder. If you're looking for something uh, more highly produced, I would probably have you connect with Mike's team to see what your options are.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, some LTS rooms have capture capability, so I believe each one is outfitted a little differently. So as far as audio and sound, if you're recording on Panopto, you just want to be mindful that you're going to probably have to stay right in front of your computer because that's your audio source, right? So if you're like walking around, you're basically walking away from the audio source, so it may not come through as clearly. So I would probably connect with Mike's team and CTL to see what your best options are, depending on what you're trying to do. And if you're trying to reuse the content and evergreen the content, there's a lot of kind of considerations that you want to do. And especially if you want to reuse the content, I would definitely be mindful of any student PII, personally identifiable information.
Olina, do you want to should I pass it back to you if you want to demo the AI summary?
So AI summary is fairly new, not super new, and we've had it enabled maybe for a few months now. You can see my Firefox screen, right? Right, Jeff?
Yes, I'm seeing the Firefox and the Canvas CGOE video library. Yes.
Perfect. Um, so, however, teaching teams have access to enable it. So we enabled it at the site-wide level. This includes for CSP. So you can come in and, oh, sorry, I went to the video level and I meant to go to the folder level here. You want to go to settings and settings again. And here is where you can enable or disable your downloads. I believe teaching teams can toggle it to, by default, it's admins, videographers, and creators only. This is the teaching team. But you can set it, if you want your students to have access to it, you can set it to authenticated users with access. In this case, I put admins only. But here's the AI summarization option, which by default will read that it's enabled and off by default. You can switch that on. Um, you can also switch on AI chapters. Um, Now, with this, um, this has to be set at the video level and will only provide the AI summary to new videos after you've enabled that setting. So for these lectures here, if I hadn't enabled the AI setting, it won't retroactively go back and set those. I believe there is a way to trigger that, but please, if that's something you want to do, please connect with us and we can send you that that documentation. But here I'll just show a quick kind of example of, and this is something that was filmed in our studio, not in a classroom. But this AI summary tab will appear and it'll provide you with key points and a summary here. So I thought it was supposed to be navigatable, but I guess not. And this clip is actually, I chose a very poor clip. Jeff, if you have a better one, because it's a small clip. What it's supposed to do is create chapters underneath it. And you can navigate through the timeline via the chapters that the AI summary creates. Another kind of cool feature is the captioning. Every single video that's uploaded to Panopto, new video that's uploaded to Panopto, is going to receive ASR captioning. It's machine generated automatic speech recognition captions, and I like that they put this warning here, right? AI generated content may contain errors. You can always go in and edit that content within the editor. I'm just checking on time. Okay, good. Um, and maybe I'll have Jeff kind of run through how to edit content really quick, but you can go in and edit whatever it is in here if it misspelled something. You can go ahead and edit, hit apply. You can also edit the captioning as well if it got something wrong, and hit apply. Don't pay attention to this Espanol Spanish language ASR. I was playing with the tool to see if a non-Spanish speaking video would provide me with Spanish captions. It does not. You have to the video has to be set into Spanish first, or recorded in Spanish, and then it'll translate. The ASR will then translate. Any questions about this?
How accurate is the machine generated in your experience?
Panopto posts about 80 to 90%, but I have some teams and I've heard from some of our peer institutions, it's more like 60 to 75.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
A couple more minutes left. Is anyone interested in seeing any one aspect of the tool or diving in? Otherwise, Jeff can dive in how to edit your content.
And just to piggyback what Lina was saying, the AI summary. So this video is a little longer. So it shows you, it does have a longer summary with different paragraphs. And Dave also asked how well does it do with the names. So the speaker name's definitely not Yvonne. So with I think non-traditional American names, I think it definitely it struggles. And so yes, that's something to be aware of. And talk about the editor really quick. There's a couple ways you can open up the native Panopto editor. So here I'm already in the Panopto players. I can click on this open editor icon or come here, hover over the thumbnail and click on edit. So the most common use we have encountered, it's especially for self-recording, is to capture the very beginning and the very end when people are setting up, and if the recording is still running after the lecture has ended. So basically, all you have to do is hover this. They call it primary one. You just click and drag the portion you don't need, and the gray area represents the area that will be cut out. And you see the name is not Yvonne. And then you go to the very end, and they say this portion, like for some reason they don't want this part, we can exclude that, and you can always preview the video. And a difference that's according to the Zoom editor, who can adjust the playback from the beginning point and the end point, is that Panopto also allows you to cut out as many parts as in the middle as necessary. So once you can preview the video, and then we will see. So we have this button check, what it means you'll preview what the finished product will look like. So once you're done, you basically just hit the apply button and it will start processing. And one thing to know that the editor is non-destructive. So you can make as many versions as any edits you like. But if you feel like you need to go back to the original, you will always have the opportunity to do so. So you're not losing content, you're just cutting stuff out and you feel like you made a mistake. And then I'm going to show a little more advanced feature. So I do know some faculty that like to embed quizzes in their video to sorry, let me open a new video actually.
So before you jump into the quizzes, I'm just going to share a use case that we've seen come through, and that's a faculty that wants to do an hour lecture, right? They don't want to hit, stop, record for each and every single segment. They want to deliver content in kind of di more digestible chunks. Um, what they do is that you can make a whole hour recording on whatever software you're most comfortable with. Um, and then you can go into the Panopto editor, and there is a workflow that we can help you with to, basically segment your content and then publish it that way, and then possibly putting into modules or pages, or just make them available in the LTI tool.
Yeah, I think
Lina, I have one
yes.
more example.
Sure.
It's really common that a faculty member says, "Oh my God, in the break room, people were talking, but it was recording us in the main room. Can you delete that 10 minutes where I'm just chatting with my TA?" Because that will get captured. You think of all the ways in which you might need to scrub identity too. Like there's some part of the discussion where there's no way of keeping it for the next quarter. It's almost always in the middle, not at the beginning or the end. So the last thing is it's a little confusing if you're a nonlinear editor that those edits that Jeff just did are live by cutting them out, but it doesn't remove them like it does in Premiere or Final Cut. Those gray things will not be played, but you can still see them in the editor. They're actually cut out already, even though you're still seeing them.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. It's a great point. And if say you publish it, right, and you're like you preview it in the course folder, and you realize you made a mistake, you can always go back and re-add it.
Yeah, so and if I'm also one thing, Carlos, on what you were saying, so only the teaching team and the so-called creator group will be able to access the editor. The students, they only see what the finished product. They don't have any access to to view the content that you don't want them to see. Yeah. So yes. So quizzes. So let's say I'm cutting out this part. Like this is a discussion that we don't want, and after the discussion, you want to give them a pop quiz. So you go to this plus button, and you can add a quiz. So there are four types of quiz question you can put in: true or false, multiple select, and I think I'm sorry, the window is not working, but it's filling the blank at the very bottom. I don't know why it's not showing. My window is so the most common one I would say is multiple choice. So who you typing the question, who is the host of this event? Mike Rouan. And you can add additional answer. So the highlighted one is the correct answer. You can just then you can keep on adding additional questions, and then and when you're and, and you can also choose how you would like the students to take the quiz. Do you allow them to retake it, to show the grades, and block advancing? There are there are various things you can do depending on your purpose. A lot of faculty just use it to test the student knowledge. They don't necessarily need the grade, but some do. So it really depends on the needs of the faculty. And just want to pause and pass it back to anybody who has any questions, or Lina, or yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Great job. Thank you so much for walking us through this. We're at time, so if anybody wants to connect with us, it's just panoptohelp@stanford.edu. And we'll be happy to connect with you one-on-one and go over any use cases that you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.